Sabrina Carpenter is dominating the global charts, but her hyper-sexualized image is triggering a massive internet war. On paper, major media outlets label her a progressive feminist icon for Gen Z. Yet her latest album cover shows her on all fours with a man pulling her hair, leaving critics calling it blatant male gaze trash. The wild part? Straight guys online seem completely unbothered, while young girls are aggressively defending the imagery as peak female empowerment. How did submissive, Lolita-coded aesthetics become the ultimate symbol of modern girlhood? Is Sabrina actually reclaiming her sexuality through clever satire, or are millions of fans being tricked into buying old-school objectification packaged in a pink bow? The internet is fiercely divided, and the receipts reveal a much darker corporate strategy underneath the aesthetic. Welcome back to the channel. Let's dive in. To understand how Sabrina Carpenter became the epicenter of this internet culture war, you have to look at how she got here. Before Espresso, she was just another Disney kid playing the sidekick on Girl Meets World. But 2014 was not the golden era of Hannah Montana or Miley Cyrus. The Disney Channel machine was dying, and her acting career never really took off. For years, she put out grunge pop albums about personal mental health struggles and family issues. Nobody listened. Her music career was completely dead on arrival. Then 2021 hit. 17-year-old Olivia Rodrigo dropped driver's license, directly accusing an older Sabrina of stealing her boyfriend. Overnight, the internet turned Sabrina into public enemy number one. Her brand was officially toxic. When your public image craters under that kind of relentless internet hate, you need a serious lifeline. For Sabrina, that lifeline was Taylor Swift, who brought her onto the Eras Tour as an opening act. That single move shielded her from the public backlash and handed her a massive global stage. From there, Sabrina launched a complete image overhaul. She ditched the grunge look entirely and rebranded as a hyper-feminine vintage baby doll. We are talking pastel corsets, ribbons, blonde blowout curls, and an insanely sexualized stage presence. On tour, her routines featured explicit viral antics and suggestive choreography. Pop stars selling sex is nothing new, but this triggered a massive controversy because she was performing these ultra-explicit acts while intentionally dressing and acting like an innocent child. Her fans immediately rushed to defend her online, claiming she was just embracing her adult sexuality through cute vintage Coquette fashion. But the internet receipts tell a completely different story. Sabrina did not just randomly pick up a vintage dress at a thrift store. Her entire brand relies heavily on infantilized femininity. Look at the history of the baby doll dress itself. Invented during World War II fabric shortages, it hit the mainstream in 1956 through the movie Baby Doll, which starred a teenager sucking her thumb and sleeping in a crib while seducing older men. The film was so insanely controversial, it was banned in 77% of American movie theaters. From day one, that aesthetic was explicitly designed to blur the line between underage innocence and adult sexual availability. When Courtney Love wore baby doll dresses in the 90s, she paired them with smeared lipstick, ripped fishnets, and combat boots to deliberately make people uncomfortable. Sabrina plays it completely straight. She poses with plush toys, takes photos on children's playgrounds, and constantly reminds the press how tiny she is. Then came her controversial SKIMS lingerie campaign shot by Vanessa Beecroft, where she posed in sheer lace inside what looked suspiciously like a young teenager's bedroom. In interviews, Sabrina literally described the shoot by saying she felt like a young girl playing in her bedroom again. Shortly after, she went on Saturday Night Live and did a sketch about middle schoolers grinding on each other at a school dance, complete with fake dental braces. This entire pattern raises a pretty uncomfortable question. When a major pop brand intentionally pairs high-fashion lingerie with teenager backdrops and fake dental braces, where exactly do we draw the line between artistic expression and calculated exploitation? Drop your honest take below, because this specific campaign completely divided the internet. If you appreciate deep-dive internet culture breakdowns that call out media hypocrisy without holding back, hit subscribe right now. Historically, this submissive aesthetic was engineered strictly for the male gaze, catering to men who prefer sexual availability wrapped in innocence. But this is where the narrative takes a really weird turn. Straight guys online do not actually care about her. While Sydney Sweeney triggers mass worship across male-dominated forums, straight men treat Sabrina with total apathy. Meanwhile, the group defending this hypersexual submissive look the loudest is young women. TikTok and Twitter are full of teenage girls calling her aesthetic peak girlhood and praising her as a modern feminist icon. The main reason her female audience defends her so aggressively is that her music relies on internet camp and self-deprecating humor that mocks men. On her album Short and Sweet, hits like Man-Child and Slim Pickings openly roast men as useless and incompetent, turning her arena shows into giant anti-male group chats. In her slasher-themed music video for Taste alongside Jenna Ortega, she uses cartoonish gore to make fun of romantic rivalry. Major outlets like Vogue and The Cut even jumped in, calling her critics puritanical haters who cannot stand seeing a woman enjoy herself. But labeling something as camp or satire does not magically erase what those visuals are doing on a commercial scale. Her fan base insists her brand is a brilliant critique of how the media treats women, but actual satire requires a real subversion of power. When an artist leans heavily into submissive visuals, the male gaze does not care if it is meant as a joke. A predatory viewer consuming submissive imagery gets the exact same gratification either way. Calling old-school submission female empowerment does not change the visual reality for millions of young girls scrolling past it without any context. When you look closely at her music, the feminist narrative crumbles even further. Every single track on her recent album revolves entirely around male behavior. Critics constantly accuse artists like Taylor Swift of being male-obsessed, but Sabrina's entire artistic identity is structurally centered on men. Criticizing men is not the same thing as decentering them. In her hit Please Please Please, she hires her real-life boyfriend Barry Keoghan to play a toxic criminal, begging him not to embarrass her in front of her friends while constantly making excuses for his red flags. In other tracks, she sings about wanting to drop to her knees just because a man does basic household dishes, setting the bar for male effort on the floor. If an artist spends her entire album mocking men as useless while simultaneously begging them for basic decency, is that actually reclaiming female power or just giving men total control over the narrative? Let me know if you see this as genuine satire or just clever commercial packaging. At the end of the day, this is not about policing an individual artist. It is about a massive corporate machine capitalizing on fake feminism. At the top of her record label, corporate executives are making millions off this exact image. Playing a thin, hyper-feminine blonde doll using submissive tropes is the safest, most profitable business move in pop music history. Wrapping a classic male fantasy in a pink bow and selling it back to young girls as a feminist revolution is the ultimate corporate cash grab. The internet promised us female liberation, but it handed us a generation of young women who believe that being wanted by men is the ultimate peak of girlhood. Sabrina Carpenter did not invent this game, but her team perfected the illusion. By packaging classic submissive tropes inside self-deprecating humor and pastel aesthetics, corporate executives successfully sold old-school objectification right back to the exact demographic fighting against it. The real question is whether Gen Z will eventually wake up to the trick or keep paying for the illusion. If this analysis gave you a new lens on how pop culture operates, hit that like button, drop your thoughts below, and subscribe for more deep dives. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.